morning everyone, it's Yvonne here to do your What's Cracking reading. I'd like to say a big thank you to you all for subscribing to my channel and for following me. And I know many of you, I feel like I know you because I know your names so well. And of course, you've also been on some of my G's gangs and trainings and classes. So thank you so much because it means a lot to me. You've been following me, some of you, since the time I started out the kitchen table readings. It's beautiful to read your comments and I never tire of them, so please keep doing what you're doing. I love it. Catch-ups. So this Sunday we have our pyjama party. Linda, the psychic pin-up, I call her the psychic pickup, and I are doing a pyjama party. There still are a couple of tickets left. I would like to give one of these away, so if you're interested in cat and you can make it on the day, you can email me, because we have a couple left and we want to make sure we've got a full group. Okay, and we'll be doing readings. We'll be doing mediumship and readings for people. Everybody will get a reading in the time we're on. It's at 7 o'clock Australian Eastern Standard Time on Sunday. I know for some of you in the States that's a hard time to come. Somebody said it was 5 a.m. for them, which means you're already in your pyjamas, you might as well come anyway, right? So we'll see you all there on Sunday. Although that would be, early Sunday morning for some of you. Secondly, I have my beginners class for tarot the following Saturday, the 7th. I still have a couple of places left in that group as well. If you're interested in that, please email me. As the beginners group, we do the very basics of tarot. So if you know nothing about tarot, you can start there. But by the end of the 3 hours, you will be reading the cards. So it's a really fun group. We have lots of fun. We all read for each other. So if you're interested in doing that, email me for that one. theaussiegoddess@gmail.com. I am now doing Akashic record readings. At this stage, I'm about 3 weeks wait. So if you're interested in having one of those done, you would need to email me in plenty of time because I'm only going to do, they're quite extensive, so I'm only going to do a couple a week. And the other thing I'm now introducing is the natal chart breakdown, which I feel very confident with, but that's the only thing at this stage I do feel confident with. So I know a lot of people want a natal chart breakdown. Hopefully I can give you transits and movement later on. So if you are interested in just having a breakdown of your natal chart, I'm now doing those too. And the other thing that I haven't got around to doing, and it's just playing on me, is I have boxes of t-shirts here and I need to get them up on my website. But if you're interested in a t-shirt, have them for sale too. But moving with the time, so there's a number of things coming up. Obviously we can't get out and about at the moment. We're still in lockdown and we expect, I think we'll be in lockdown till probably towards the end of September. So the cases are rising daily. So let's just keep our fingers crossed that we get, they've gone a huge vaccination push, so hopefully we get enough people. We lag around the world really when everybody else is around about 70 to 80%, and we're like, I think we were 13% as of yesterday, so long way to go, folks. All right, let's get into your reading. I am reading with the Albino Rider-Waite Tarot. Okay, Scorpio energy with the Death card. The Death card is a card that sort of takes people back because they're like, what's going on here? And I'm like, it should really hold more energy of transition. It can represent physical death in a reading, but it needs to be supported by a lot of other cards or energies. The Death card is a card that talks about transformation. That's why it's very Scorpio energy. It's about change at a very deep level. So it can mean something a little bit more simple, like, you know, say moving into a marriage after you've been single for a while. It could talk about starting a new career. So it can be a transition like that. Or it can be much deeper than that, where it can be a transition around your own awareness, an awakening. It's sort of like a realization, but it's not like an epiphany. It's something that's a little bit more impactful. But certainly means there's change on the horizon. Holy dooly. So, for some of you, you have been asking the universe for change. And sometimes this is what we do. If our lives become a little bit stagnant, if we want something new in our lives, if we want change, this can be something we manifest here. So I feel like you've manifested some sort of change here. All right, so maybe for some of you, because the Queen of Pentacles does, for me, talk about relationship. It talks about a person who's very dedicated to a relationship, often comes up to the husband-wife card or partnership card. This is somebody who's looking here and wanting some sort of change in their life. Now, without sort of looking too far forward, I'm wondering here if you're sort of trying to pull in a new relationship, a change in your relationship status. So maybe sort of wanting the ending to something or the beginning of something here with the Wish card. So you're trying to bring in some sort of change. You're manifesting some sort of change here. It's funny because I sort of feel this energy, and I've been feeling it quite a lot lately with this frustration. And sometimes people say, you know, like I'm trying to manifest something. I'm really trying to bring something into my life, but I can't make it happen. And I feel like if you give too much attention to it, sometimes it slows it down. So if you keep asking questions about it, or you keep expecting it, waiting for it to happen, watching the calendar, watching the dates, we can't make things go any quicker. And in fact, when you do that, the time seems to lag more. So it almost feels like it's taking longer. So you have to let go. Now, how do you let go? What you do is you invest in yourself. So if you're in this anxious energy, wondering when something is going to happen, then you have to let go and trust the universe is working on something here. And I can visibly see this, that it's coming, it's happening. But this is about understanding that the best way to make it happen is keeping yourself busy. Now, good example. You know you've got to go, say, for an appointment or an interview. Interview's a good one. And instead of stewing the day before and sitting around thinking about the interview, what you do is you go out, you have coffee, you go shopping, you do what you can, except if you're locked down, watch Netflix, whatever it is. You do things to keep yourself occupied to make the time go quicker, because it feels like when you're waiting, it's like watching a kettle boil, waiting for the microwave to cook your 2-minute meal, and 3 days later it's done. I feel really strongly that a lot of people don't realize by waiting, watching the clock, looking for things, waiting for them to happen, trying to get more information, you don't understand how much you're slowing something down. Now, the Three of Cups is here. And I'm feeling like here, and I love this because this is exactly the energy I'm talking about with the High Priestess. You don't know the outcome. And sometimes we do, as human beings, we want to know, you know, what shape it's coming in. How is it going to walk in the door? What does it look like? You can't know these things. You can't know. And usually what happens, if you have a fixed idea of what's going to happen, the universe will present you with something completely different. It happens all the time. And you've only got to look back. And this is really how you can understand this. If you look back at something you've waited for that has presented itself in a completely different way, you will understand. There is something here that is going to present to you that is very, very different to what you asked for. So what you're doing is you're looking in all the places, waiting for the calendar, watching the clock, waiting for something to happen, when all you need to do is just put down these ideas of how things should be. And you can confuse yourself very much by asking too many questions or watching the clock or trying to sort of work something out. And the universe is saying here, see, you just wait patiently. And maybe for some of you, this is a lesson about patience. It may be for you a lesson about being patient with things, like trying to understand that things take time. Things, you know, you can't expect to eat a cake before it's cooked. You just have to learn to be patient. And I feel like for some of you here, this energy coming through is about you trusting that the universe is doing what it needs to do. I do feel that you'll get what you want, but remember, it may not come how you want it. So don't get too fixated on that, or you'll slow the timing down. So what I see here is co-creation. And I see with co-creation, this is how you manifest with the universe. So it's about asking for something to be delivered, and then letting it go and just allowing the universe to do their work. I feel like somehow or another here, you're feeling maybe you're feeling a bit of lack, which may not be healthy either. So if you're feeling lack, say for example, you're desperate to bring this relationship in, this commitment, whatever it is for you. And all the time you're asking for it, you're saying to the universe, I don't have it. So remember, you may be giving the energy of lack out to the universe, in which case your wish or your desire may take longer to come to you because you're telling the universe you don't have it. So what you've got to do to manifest is actually feel like you have this thing in your life already. Make room in your house for somebody to be there if it's a long-term relationship you want. But try to imagine your life as much as you can during the course of a day with somebody there. Because if you keep asking where it is, the universe sees a lack. So it may be that you need to learn about your lack mentality before you move forward. But if you keep questioning the universe, then they're going to see the lessons you have to learn rather than the outcome. So just stay with your manifestation, believe it's already in your life, and then watch it manifest. All right, so we have the Two of Swords coming through with the Five of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune. The other thing I want to say to you too, because I do get asked these questions and I feel like sometimes they're worth saying. Some people get very confused by watching too many tarot readings. So I get people coming to me and saying, but this tarot reader said this and this tarot reader said that. Or, you know, how do I know when the readings I watch are all different? Maybe you need to sort of back off a little bit, because not all of us tarot readers have the answers. As much as we tune into the energies today, it might not be your energy, it might not be you. So what I would say to you is, don't overwhelm yourself or frustrate yourself by believing everything you hear is right. Trust your intuition. If the reading doesn't sit right with you, it may not be your reading. But sometimes you just have to use your discretion, discernment. All right. We have the Knight of Wands coming through with the World card. There's a decision you have to make and some sort of ending to something here. And maybe it's just what I'm talking about here. These messages get channeled through me. So I feel like here some sort of change has to occur before you can move forward, without any doubt. There is some sort of decision you need to make here about closing something down. And maybe it is about you closing down that part of you that is, you know, starting to feel a little needy or desperate to have something in your life. And remember that for some people, you know, having something becomes, you know, all-encompassing. For others of you here, the completion that you are waiting for may be actually something quite tangible. I do see perhaps the closing out of education, finishing a degree, but something here has to finish out. You can't move forward until you've completed something. And I clearly see you moving forward, but it's a matter of completing something else first. Now, as I said, for some of you, this may be something tangible. You may have to complete another relationship before you can move into a new one. But I really feel for many of you here, this is about completing a cycle. So some of you are sort of still floundering in some of those limiting beliefs, like you can't have what you want. And so there is some sort of closing down of this. Now, if you're unsure how to proceed, and I feel a lot of people don't realize this, but especially if you have lots of time on your hands and your mind is extremely busy, get into art. Draw, paint, sing, dance, whatever you need to do. Those sort of things are creation. And when you're creating for yourself, you're creating with the universe. So you're out of your head, your mind is free, and you are able to manifest more readily. So, you know, if it's a paintbrush, if it's a pen and paper, if it's writing a book that you've always wanted to write, if it's making jewelry is what they're talking about here. So some of you have some really, really creative energy. Use that. Use that to launch yourself, because when you're out of your head creating, your mind has room for manifestation. And I see here this energy of letting something go here in order to move forward. It's very clear in these cards this morning. Something needs, you have to make some sort of decision here, because you're too much in your head thinking about what you want and where you want to go. You cannot manifest from desire and obsession. You cannot manifest from that. What you can manifest from is by releasing and being grateful and having gratitude. That is the greatest way to manifest what you want. So let's keep going. Oh, for some of you, it's definitely love. Look at that big fat Ace of Cups coming out here with the Two of Cups. Okay, so for those of you who are trying to manifest love, you are the ones I am really speaking to this morning. You have too much focus on what you want instead of being focused on what you already have. Just remember that, because if you're focused on this love journey, you are lacking in other areas here where you need to let go. This is human. Look at this. This is human desire here. And if you're already sort of talking and working and living like you already have this, it will find it so much easier to come into your life. This is about being grateful, understanding that the universe is working on this. No matter which way I look at it, the universe already has your order. Let it go. Okay, so we have some huge change coming in for you here. I feel like for some of you, you're wishing for something, maybe to be a partner, maybe to be partnered up. There's a lot of anxiety behind this because you want results, but the universe is saying you don't know what's happening yet. You have to learn what's happening. It's really interesting. I love the High Priestess because, you know, like everybody else, I like to get a reading as well. High Priestess always comes out in my reading because they know I read the cards. They know I know what's going on. But when it comes to me, I always get the High Priestess or the Moon. So I know that they are holding back from me. Absolutely 100%. So every time I get the High Priestess or the Moon saying, you don't know, you're not needing to know, Yvonne. Just get on with your life. Do what you need to do. We're working in the background. And I trust that. But even as a tarot reader, I can't see what's happening for me. Do you find that interesting? Because I can read for you and I can tell you what's coming towards you unless you have lessons to learn. And very often if you have lessons to learn, this will be the energy I get. So if you've moved into a new relationship that's not going to be as healthy as you want it to be, or you're going to have to learn lessons within that relationship, Spirit will often hide that from me too. So just remember that there are things we are not meant to know. So here we have you putting some sort of weight down and moving away from something and waiting patiently for your seeds to sprout. Not everything is shown to us. Remember that. Not everything is shown because we need to learn. So if we already know what we're going to do, why play a game of Monopoly if you already know you're going to win? Why go for a job interview if you've already convinced you've got the job? There are processes we need to go through as human beings, and the universe takes us through those processes because we need to learn. We may need to learn about our own value. We may not be ready for a relationship because we may not be in our own heart space. So ask yourself, am I in the right place to accept a relationship? And then go and work on your heart space. Go and work on loving yourself. Because you are so much more attractive to yourself. So how does that look for other people? There's a brand new start coming through. I have the Ace of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, and the Ace of Wands all sitting here. So the only thing we don't have is my favourite ace. We don't have the Ace of Swords. We do have the High Priestess, see, not to be revealed. It's not to be revealed. There's a change you have to go through first in order to get your wish. Straightforward. Look at that. Straight out of the deck, picked at random. Same 3 cards. You need to go through some change in the way you're thinking, the way you see your world. Maybe for some of you, this is you can't meet the love of your life until you move house. Maybe you're going to meet them in your next job, so it means you need to change your job. Maybe you need to change the place you have your coffee at lunchtime because you're going to meet them in a cafe. Whatever here, just always remember the universe is working for you here, but you don't need to know everything. Very much this energy showing for me today. It's a secret. So maybe the person you meet is not the person you were expecting. Maybe the person that's coming into your life is somebody who's made for you rather than the person you wanted. But something is happening here because you've got a wish coming true. All right, let's have a look at an oracle card. Let's read a Journey of Love card this morning. As human beings, we're very impatient, aren't we? And it's something that we've got to learn. We're all impatient. It's just that some of us, I guess, have got to the point where we realise that if you're stuck in that impatience, trying to control your world, trying to control an outcome, then you have to understand that it's the control you need to work with rather than the patience. You can't control the world, unfortunately. I certainly think that our lives would be different if we could control what's going on for us. Let's have a look at what's going on here. The Angel of Jupiter Awakening, card number 6. Beloved, within you there is magnificence, greatness, and the ability to live bolder, larger, and more exuberantly than you may have ever imagined. Awaken that keen spirit, hungry for adventure and new experience. The angel of Jupiter, the spirit of bold expansion and the divine generosity lives within you. Your spirit cannot be made small, but must be free. Start now. Feel the endlessness of your own heart. What can be done today to live bigger? A smile, a yes to that offer of adventure, sharing vulnerability without fear, taking a step forward into the unknown, daring to imagine that the divine doesn't just happen to you, but happens through you as you. Embrace the courage of your own open heart and dare to dream, beloved. The bold divine nature within you is calling you to great things. Now is your time to awaken. This oracle holds a message of guidance for you. You are being given an opportunity that can change your life. Don't hesitate to accept it. If you are acting with more assertiveness, more generosity, more playfulness, and more spiritual authority than usual, this is confirmation that this is coming from a genuine place within you. If you are experiencing some havoc in your life or a sense that things are changing, this oracle comes as affirmation. Yes, there is change, and yes, you are outgrowing what was. So you will be prepared to receive that which is more suited for your next stage of growth. Everything in that reading is what I've said. So you will be prepared to receive that which is more suited for your next stage of growth. So what you're expecting may not come to you in the way, shape, or form that it is. And you can't control that. You can't control it. So let it go and let the universe do what it needs to do, and just remember that it is on your path for you. I'm going to read the poem here. Awake in your arms, I wait to stop time, savouring each moment for an eternity. Like an angel, you light the room, your love giving life to the love I've held within. Unbridled and free, our dream unfolds, and we are forever changed. Something beautiful is coming. Don't try to control the outcome. Thank you.